Do not shop at Publix again until you watch this. What looks like a friendly neighborhood grocery store is actually a masterclass in subtle strategy. Behind the smiles and spotless floors lies a system designed to influence the way you shop and what you spend. From the moment you walk in, it feels inviting, too inviting. That is not a coincidence. Publix has spent decades perfecting an experience that feels like hospitality, but functions like a finely tuned sales engine. You might think you are in control, but every shelf, scent, and song has been chosen with one goal in mind: making sure you spend more than you planned. From the floral department that greets you at the entrance to the polished produce bins that shine under warm lighting, Publix creates an atmosphere that feels more like a boutique than a grocery store. Studies show that customers are more likely to shop longer and spend more when they feel relaxed and welcome. And no one does this better than Publix. Their aisles are wider, their lighting is softer, and their classical music soundtrack is deliberately chosen to slow your pace. While traditional stores focus on efficiency, Publix invests in ambiance, and the results speak for themselves. Publix shoppers are among the most loyal in the grocery industry, and it is not just because of the cookies at the bakery or the helpful staff. It is because every part of the store is engineered to build trust. Their employees are trained to offer assistance, but that friendliness is more than customer service. It is a strategy. Studies in consumer behavior have found that when shoppers receive help or compliments from staff, they subconsciously associate that positivity with the store itself. In Publix, good vibes are good business. One of the most iconic features of Publix is their deli, and that is by design. The aroma of hot fried chicken and fresh subs is not just appetizing, it is persuasive. Publix places its deli near the front of the store for a reason. It hits your senses before logic has a chance to weigh in. You came in for paper towels, but now you are walking out with an Italian sub, a fountain drink, and maybe even dessert. That is not poor impulse control, it is science. But it is not just about smell. The way products are displayed in the deli department also plays a role. Items are stacked with precision, packaged to show off color and texture, and labeled with prices that make buying a combo feel like a better deal than choosing a la carte. Publix does not rely on volume discounts or warehouse pricing. Instead, they sell a feeling: freshness, comfort, and convenience, all wrapped up in butcher paper and served with a smile. And that feeling extends far beyond the deli counter. One of Publix's most powerful tools is its private label strategy. At first glance, their store brands like Greenwise or Publix Premium seem like affordable alternatives. But look closer and you will see a deeper strategy at work. These products are positioned as equal or even superior to national brands. The packaging is elegant, the ingredients are high quality, and the messaging is consistent. You are not downgrading, you are upgrading. This strategy has been wildly successful. A 2023 market report found that Publix's private label sales grew by over 20% year over year. That is not just a sign of popularity, it is a sign of trust. Shoppers believe in these products because they believe in the store that sells them. And that belief is reinforced every time a Publix associate recommends a store brand item with confidence. The trust loop is complete: quality products, friendly staff, and an environment that feels curated just for you. But what really sets Publix apart is its layout. Unlike other grocery stores that maximize shelf space by crowding in as much inventory as possible, Publix takes a more refined approach. Their stores are carefully organized to create a flow, an invisible path that guides you past key displays and promotional items without you even realizing it. It is a quiet choreography, and you are dancing to it every time you shop. This design includes subtle cues like floor tiling changes, lighting shifts, and end cap displays that draw your attention. Eye-level placement is reserved for high-margin products, while essentials like milk and eggs are placed in the back, forcing you to walk past dozens of tempting options along the way. Even the placement of impulse items near the register is optimized. Gum, snacks, and seasonal trinkets are not there by accident. They are the final test of your willpower before checkout. But if you think all of this is accidental, think again. Publix employs retail psychologists, data analysts, and supply chain specialists to fine-tune every part of the customer journey. From how many steps you take between departments to the color of the signage used for deals, everything has been tested and refined. They know exactly what works, and they do not leave it to chance. And while their stores may feel warm and neighborly, the truth is that Publix runs on cold efficiency behind the scenes. Their distribution centers use advanced logistics systems to deliver fresh products quickly and minimize waste. Their supply chain is vertically integrated, allowing them to control sourcing, packaging, and pricing with precision. This efficiency allows Publix to offer a premium experience without charging luxury prices, at least not on the surface. Because while some prices may seem competitive, others are quietly marked up. Publix relies on something known in the industry as a high-low pricing strategy. That means while certain items are offered at low prices to attract customers, like buy one, get one free deals on cereal or pasta, other staples may be significantly more expensive than at competitors like Walmart or Aldi. The savings you think you are getting in one aisle may be quietly offset in another. This pricing strategy works because it plays on perception. When you see a good deal, especially one that is prominently displayed with colorful signage, your brain assumes the whole store must be affordable. That halo effect is powerful, and Publix uses it expertly. You feel like you are getting a bargain, even if your receipt tells a different story. This illusion of value is not accidental. It is carefully curated through promotions that reward customer habits while shaping them at the same time. Publix's famous buy one, get one free offers are not just incentives, they are behavioral tools. Research shows that customers are more likely to buy something they do not need when they believe they are getting a deal. At Publix, that strategy is everywhere. The signs are bold, the language is clear, and the impact is immediate. You might have walked in with a list, but somewhere between the soda aisle and the pasta shelves, you suddenly find yourself grabbing an extra box or two just in case. And the truth is, those deals are rarely free. The prices of buy one, get one free items are often quietly adjusted so that you end up paying close to full price for both, just spread across the promotion. But it works because it feels generous. It feels like the store is giving something away when in reality, they are increasing volume, clearing inventory, and strengthening customer loyalty, all in one move. This loyalty is the cornerstone of Publix's business model. Their slogan, "Where shopping is a pleasure," is more than marketing. It is a mission statement. Everything about the in-store experience is designed to make you feel good. And when you feel good, you come back, again and again. That is why Publix invests heavily in its customer service training. Associates are expected to go the extra mile, not just to help, but to connect. They bag your groceries with care, walk you to an item instead of pointing, and treat every question like a moment of service. And when it comes to service, Publix pharmacies take that commitment even further. They offer free medications for common conditions like antibiotics and blood pressure drugs. On the surface, this seems like a public health initiative, and it does serve that purpose. But it is also a brilliant customer acquisition tool. When people pick up free medication, they often buy other items while they wait. Over time, they associate Publix with care and value, building long-term trust with shoppers who return again and again, not just for groceries, but for everything. That level of strategic thinking extends into every department. Take the bakery, for example. It is positioned to fill the store with the scent of fresh bread and sugar the moment you walk in. And their cakes and cookies are not just popular, they are practically a cultural phenomenon. Publix birthday cakes, in particular, have developed a cult following. Their frosting recipe is closely guarded, and the nostalgic taste has made them a go-to choice for celebrations across the Southeast. But it is not just about taste. The bakery items are visually perfect. They are designed to sell themselves, with flawless decorations, appealing displays, and samples that invite you to try before you buy. A slice here, a nibble there, and suddenly you are walking out with a full cake instead of just a loaf of sandwich bread. It is experiential marketing at its finest. And then there is the produce department, a section that looks more like a still life painting than a functional part of a grocery store. Each apple is polished, each pepper arranged just so, and the entire area is brightly lit to make the colors pop. Publix sources from premium vendors, but they also use presentation techniques to enhance perceived freshness. Misters spray water on leafy greens, not to hydrate them, but to make them look crisp and refreshing. The bins are tilted, filled in small batches, and constantly rotated to give the impression of abundance without overwhelming the shopper. That sense of abundance carries over into the meat and seafood departments, where glass displays showcase premium cuts and fresh-caught fish as if they were jewelry. The language used here matters too. Labels like hand-trimmed, never frozen, or wild-caught evoke quality and exclusivity. Even the white coats worn by staff add a layer of professionalism that elevates the buying experience. You are not just getting chicken thighs. You are getting curated, high-quality protein from someone who knows exactly how to help you prepare it. Publix understands that details matter, and they use those details to reinforce an identity, a lifestyle even. Their reusable bags are thicker, their print ads are cleaner, and their recipe cards feature meals that feel elevated yet attainable. You are not just buying groceries. You are participating in a brand that makes you feel like the kind of person who appreciates good food, thoughtful service, and a pleasant environment. It is aspirational shopping wrapped in practicality. And this identity extends into their seasonal campaigns. When holidays roll around, Publix transforms. The music changes, the signage becomes festive, and the product selection adapts to reflect seasonal needs. Thanksgiving turkeys are paired with recipe displays. Easter baskets come pre-assembled. Christmas cookies are lined up in neat rows beside poinsettias and cinnamon-scented candles. These seasonal shifts are not just about product, they are about memory. Shoppers begin to associate Publix with tradition, and tradition is powerful. Even the way Publix handles rain is strategic. In many locations, employees will escort you to your car with an umbrella during a downpour. That small gesture might not cost the store much, but it pays dividends in loyalty. Because shoppers do not just remember the chicken they bought, they remember that someone stood beside them in the rain. But Publix does not only invest in feel-good moments. Behind the scenes, their business model is as polished as their tile floors. The company is privately held and employee-owned, which means decisions are made for the long term. This ownership model reduces pressure from outside investors and allows the brand to focus on sustainable growth instead of quarterly gains. It also fosters a sense of pride among employees who have a personal stake in the store's success. And that pride shows. Publix stores are consistently rated among the cleanest and most organized in the industry. Everything has its place, from the end cap displays to the shelf signage. And when something is out of stock, you can bet that someone is already in the back locating a fresh case. The systems in place to support this consistency are robust. Distribution centers use real-time inventory tracking. Deliveries are timed for maximum freshness. And staffing models are designed to ensure that departments never feel understaffed, even during peak hours. All of this comes together to create an environment that feels effortless, but only because every part of it is so carefully engineered. From the color of the uniforms to the placement of the frozen food section, Publix is not just a grocery store. It is a psychological experience, one that encourages you to linger, to spend, and to return. And when you step outside, bags in hand, you feel good about your choices. That is the magic. Publix has crafted a retail experience where the transaction is almost secondary to the emotion. You feel smart, you feel appreciated, you feel like you belong. But behind that feeling is a carefully constructed system designed to do exactly that. Keep you coming back for more. That feeling of belonging is no accident. It is the result of a store that has studied its customers as closely as it has studied its shelves. Publix understands that the modern shopper does not just want good food. They want to feel good about where they are spending their money. And that emotional connection is what keeps people loyal, even when competitors offer lower prices or faster options. Loyalty built not just on convenience, but on experience. But that experience, as comforting as it may be, is also a kind of performance. A meticulously staged production where every detail is scripted to guide your decisions. Even the things that feel spontaneous are often carefully planned. The free samples, the recipe suggestions, the floral arrangements that shift with the seasons. These are not just thoughtful touches. They are deliberate cues that activate emotions. Studies in consumer psychology have shown that people are more likely to make unplanned purchases when their senses are stimulated. Publix leans into that. offering tastes and smells and sights that encourage you to browse, to linger, and to imagine. Imagine how that dip would taste at your next party. Imagine how those flowers would look on your table. Imagine how that ready-to-bake lasagna could save you time tonight. That kind of visualization turns possibilities into purchases. And in a world where most grocery trips are driven by habit, Publix stands out by making the experience feel like a series of discoveries. But perhaps the most powerful part of Publix's strategy is what you do not see. Their marketing rarely shouts. It whispers. Instead of flooding your inbox with coupons or bombarding you with loud television commercials, Publix relies on subtle reinforcement. Soft-spoken commercials that focus on family values, holiday traditions, and emotional moments. Their brand voice is calm, reassuring, and distinctly Southern. It says, "We know you. We are part of your life." And for millions of shoppers across the southeastern United States, that message lands. That regional identity is a critical part of the brand's power. Publix is deeply tied to its roots, and that connection creates a sense of shared culture. While national chains try to appeal to everyone, Publix focuses on doing one thing well, serving its community. And in return, its community gives it more than business. It gives it loyalty, word of mouth, and generations of returning shoppers. Parents bring their children, who grow up and bring their own children. The store becomes more than a place to buy food. It becomes a fixture in the rhythm of daily life. But for all its strengths, Publix is not without criticism. Many shoppers have begun to notice that the prices, especially on pantry staples and household goods, are higher than those at stores like Walmart, Aldi, or even Target. And while buy one get one free deals create the illusion of value, the overall cart total often tells a different story. It is a trade-off. Ambiance and service in exchange for a higher receipt. And for some families, especially in times of economic strain, that trade-off becomes harder to justify. There are also concerns about product variety. While Publix does offer a wide selection of items, it tends to focus on mainstream brands and its own private labels. Shoppers looking for specialty ingredients or more international options may find themselves limited. And in some markets, the store's layout and product curation feel almost too curated, tailored for a very specific shopper with specific tastes and budgets. Behind the scenes, critics have also raised questions about labor practices, supplier diversity, and corporate transparency. Being a privately held company gives Publix flexibility, but it also shields it from public scrutiny. Decisions are made behind closed doors, and while the company has a reputation for treating its employees well, not all workers feel that the internal culture always lives up to the brand's external image. And then there is the issue of expansion. As Publix moves further beyond its southeastern stronghold, it faces new challenges. In states where the brand name does not carry the same nostalgic weight, the company must compete on new terms dictated by price, convenience, and selection. It is one thing to win over shoppers who grew up with Publix. It is another to impress those who are comparing it for the first time to establish chains they already trust. And as grocery delivery and curbside pickup services become more common, Publix must invest heavily in technology to stay competitive. To its credit, the company has embraced these shifts. Its app is clean and functional, its digital coupons are easy to use, and its curbside service is steadily expanding. But these are not the areas where Publix naturally shines. The heart of its business is still in the in-store experience, the smiling employee at the deli counter, the perfectly arranged displays, the familiarity of the layout. And as consumer behavior continues to evolve, Publix will need to find ways to bring that magic into the digital realm without losing what makes it special. Because that is the challenge for any legacy brand in a modern world: how to keep the soul while upgrading the systems. Publix has managed that balance better than most. Its identity remains strong, its stores remain beloved, and its customer base remains fiercely loyal. But the competition is growing smarter. And in a market where speed, price, and convenience increasingly matter, no brand can afford to rest on tradition alone. Still, there's something remarkable about a store that can make you feel at home. A place where the floors are clean, the carts are smooth, and the chicken tenders are always hot. A store where the staff remember your name, or at least make you feel like they might. That emotional currency is rare in retail, and Publix has it in abundance. So, should you stop shopping at Publix? Not necessarily, but you should understand it. You should know that every friendly smile, every sample, and every soft note of music is part of a system designed to shape your shopping behavior. And that does not make it bad, it makes it smart. It means the store is doing exactly what it was built to do, make you feel good about spending more. Because in the world of grocery stores, Publix is not just selling groceries. It is selling comfort. It is selling consistency. It is selling a version of life where everything feels just a little easier, a little friendlier, a little more like home. And for many, that feeling is worth the extra cost. But once you know how it works, once you see the strategies at play, you will never shop quite the same way again. You will notice the positioning, the pricing, the psychology, and that awareness gives you power. Power to choose differently, power to question the deal, power to see past the packaging. Do not shop at Publix again until you understand what it truly is. Not just a store, but an experience. A perfectly constructed retail illusion where shopping is a pleasure, but never an accident.